with a huge round of applause. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I request Sanjay sir to give the floor welcome to Professor Anil Mehta, sir. Please welcome Professor Anil Mehta, sir. Thank you, sir. I request BICON sir to give the floor welcome to Professor Biyani, sir. Thank you, sir. Human resource management is a function in organization designed to maximize employees' performance in service of an employer's strategic objectives. HR is primarily concerned with the management of people within organizations, focusing on policies and on systems to link HR with the Make in India concept. Now we start our second technical session by inviting our chairperson of this session, Professor P.C. Jangir sir, and our eminent guest speakers, Professor H.M. Mittal sir and Professor Anil Mehta sir on the stage. Please sir, please come up on the stage. Please give them a huge round of applause. Thank you, sir. Our first speaker is Professor H.M. Mittal, sir. Sir is Principal, University Law College, University of Rajasthan. He was awarded PhD degree in 1989. I would like to invite Mittal, sir, upon the stage. So please put some light on this technical session. Please welcome Professor H.M. Mittal, sir, with a huge round of applause.
I am highly grateful for the management of Biyani College of Institutions and my dear colleague Dr. Biyani, the Director of Finance Office. This occasion is really very attractive and very impressive for me. And so for the first time I have visited this college and I have very good impression of this institution. As far as this topic is concerned, it is a new topic for me. And very small time, I have tried to make certain observations regarding this area of making media. Actually, there was a time when industrialists were in very confusing affairs, what to do or what not to do. And it is the initiative taken by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi that some good mechanisms to be developed to forge the skills of our country. As far as the observation of Prime Minister of India is concerned, this Make in India concept of program is concerned, it is to develop skill development in our country. And there are a number of institutions, but there is a lack of skill development in our country. Skill development is required not in one segment of study, it requires a comprehensive approach. All institutions, all faculties, all courses require skill development. As you know, there is a population of 1.25 crores in our country. Mass is not enough until unless we don't make them well equipped with skill development. So these are the ways to skill development, and it is to the skill development we will be able to provide more and more job opportunities. For the global world, India has huge mass, but without skill development, there is no job, generation. Huge mass is there, but the opportunities can only be availed only when we have skill development. Therefore, this program has been oriented to force the opportunity of the FDIs. FDIs are coming, and FDI is the responsibility of we people. Thus, every citizen of India has the responsibility for FDIs. And it is the opportunity for the FDIs to make India more and more vibrant. FDI can contribute a lot, but until we don't have the skill mass in our country, we can't develop. There is a great deal of economic reform and economic development through the skill development. As far as the observation of Prime Minister of India is concerned, that economic reform needs change so that employment opportunity will develop and purchasing power will also increase and manufacturing of projects will also increase. There is a need for development of skill for HRD. Whole system to be digitalized. Major objective behind the initiative is to focus 25 sectors of economy. Our government is focusing on 25 sectors. For mining and minerals, FDI in enterprise, manufacturing items, defense up to 49%, teleports, networking, mobile, broadcasting, centers, print media, terrestrial, broadcasting, publication of festival edition, airport, satellites, telecom, beyond 49%. And there are certain regulatory environment measures which have been introduced in the industry. Time, first and foremost, this timeline will be defined for all clearances. For the clearance of the project, time limit has been prescribed. Secondly, tender state government to provide exemption from rules and regulations related to river, environment, etc. Third one is mechanism for cooperation of public and private institutions with government inspection services and overall control of the statutory authority to be progressively very well innovative. The fourth one is the combined verification law and a common register to be developed. The single window clearance for units in NI and J. Early environmental approval. Earlier, they were very much very much scrutiny at every stage. Such kind of scrutiny has been waived in number of sectors. Likewise, the government officers were getting huge amount for the certification of various kind of sectors. That certification has been waived, and there is a direct permission from the government. Direct investment is allowed without getting any certification in certain areas. Therefore, it is a like a mistake of the government of India that the foreign investment has been introduced, but simultaneously, we people have to generate, we have to develop skill development to for the opportunity. Prime Minister has gone to America and different countries just to force that foreign investment should come, foreign direct investment should come, and companies should come for gambling and betting, including ratio that greedy company borrowing from members and lending to members only, trading in transformation development rights, real estate business other than construction of farmhouses, manufacturing of cigars and cigarettes of tobacco or of the tobacco substitute. Activity sectors not open to private sector investment, atomic energy, railway transport, operation, maintenance of suburban corridors project to PPP models, high-speed train projects, dedicated freight lines, rolling stock, including train tracks, railway electrification, signal systems, freight terminals, passenger train terminals, infrastructure industrial park, pertaining to railway lines, mass rapid transport system. These activities have been reserved for the Indian government. No FDI is permitted to come into picture in these activities, and they are not allowed to invest in these activities. Certain other things are also notable. That is with regard to the new infrastructure. Make in India is also going to introduce certain new infrastructure that is impetus on developing industrial corridors and smart cities. A new national industrial corridor development authority is being created to coordinate, integrate, monitor, and supervise development of all industrial corridors. Work on 5 smart cities is in progress, like uh, Nonera, Chandra, Bidkin, Greater Noida, Ujjain, and Gurgaon, Delhi and Mumbai. These are the 5 cities, smart cities, which are undertaking various projects of the government of India. Chennai Bangalore Industrial Corridor Master Plan for 3 new industrial nodal agencies are working in this direction. Each cost economic corridor with Chennai is also working for project feasibility study commissioned by ADP. Then Amritsar is another point. Kolkata industrial corridors are also working for the development of the new manufacturing process. Northeastern part of India plan to be linked with other industrial corridors in operation in government in Japan. New industrial clusters for promoting advanced practices in manufacturing are also working. Approval accorded to 21 industrial projects under modified industrial infrastructure up to irrigation scheme with an emphasis on use of replaced water through zero liquid discharging system. Central efficient treatment plant approval accorded to 17 national investment and manufacturing zones. Nurturing innovation approval obtained for strengthening, and last one is intellectual property regime in country through creation of 1,033 ports, further upgradation of IT facilities, compliance with global standard, application process built online. I mean to say what the government is going to do to make in India that the procedure for investment has been made very simplified so that the FDI to be encouraged. Certification requirements from the government officials have been waived, exempted in number of sectors. And the main and more emphasis of the FDI investment is towards various sectors of economy. I have quoted like in chemical, in hospital, wellness, and like mining में ये बहुत सारी जो है इन्वेस्टमेंट करके इसको करनी है रेलवे इलेक्ट्रिफिकेशन में इन्वेस्टमेंट करना है. But various industries are there, with the FDI will be introduced in our country, and our skilled staff will be engaged, so that our employment problem will be solved. The main purpose of Make in India program is to make and to provide more and more employment opportunities to our young mass, to our skilled mass, which are frustrated, which are not getting proper job, and they are not rightly paid. And therefore, this Make in India mission of the government is a very innovative program for the youngsters, for the brilliant, for the skilled, and grade process should be restricted. It should be rather provided in the time to come. The time has not come. The government is making efforts that our brain should be provided, our skilled staff should be retained in our country, and our manufacturing products should be increased with the global standard. Environmental considerations, sustainable development must also be observed in the manufacturing process. Only manufacturing is not enough, it should be qualitative, competitively, it should stand in the market. Cost effective goods, competitive goods, global goods, and manufacturing hub should be created in our country. This is the mission of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi behind the theme of Make in India. I think this theme will be successful with all the work. I thank you again for the management of Biyani College for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. As a meter, as in your thought-provoking speech, you have narrated about the Make in India program, how our Prime Minister is trying to emancipate the problem of unemployment in India by inviting foreign investment and to boost up the manufacturing sector so that skill can be developed, employment can be provided to the young mass people, and then can be restricted, skilled staff can be adjusted, and we want to make this country more competitive so that we can get our place in the world economy. Thank you again. Now I invite Professor Anil Mehta sir to deliver your thought-provoking speech. People are spellbound to listen to you. You have acclaimed not only national but international fame. Various awards you have taken in the field of SRM. Thank you, sir.
Professor Biyani. My senior colleague, was when I was student, Professor Jangir was quite senior to me at the time. And my colleague, Professor Mittal sir, hello. At the outset, I am very thankful to Professor Biyani for inviting me to this wonderful event. In fact, coming that I enjoyed earlier, they all have been neutralized and equalized. Now, today, any organization, because of this globalization scenario, any organization can have the accessibility to any financial institution throughout the globe, wherever that organization can get best and most proper, most appropriate deal for financial assistance. One can procure the best available technology which is available anywhere in the globe. And because of the economic reforms nowadays, every organization has equal opportunity to approach, to access any market in the globe. What has happened today that of course still there are political boundaries or political borders, but today there is no geographical boundary as far as businesses are concerned. And in this changing scenario, when all the organizations are almost at par in terms of resources, a single factor that can make a difference and that still we can have as a competitive edge, strong competitive edge, that is, of course, quality of human resources working in the organization. And because of that, human resource management as well as HRD has acquired a very, very important role. Of course, many of the HR activities are being outsourced, but it doesn't mean that HR has lost its significance. Still, I feel that if you are having the best people in your organization, if you can groom, train or nurture according to the requirement of organization, and most important, if you can retain people in your organization for a fairly longer period, if you can win their dedication and commitment towards your organization, then undoubtedly you will have bright possibility and huge opportunity. Two quotations need not have to elaborate it further. I have spoken enough about them. But just see the first slide. Of course, there is no denying that two things are very important for any organization as far as employees are concerned. Number one, their competence. Number two, their commitment. Unless employees are competent, they will not give their best to the organization. Unless they are committed to their organization, again, organization will not get benefit. So obviously, commitment and competence, they are very important. But I personally feel that, of course, competence is there, commitment is there, but ultimately, HR will be evaluated. People will be appraised on the basis of value creation, what they have contributed to the organization. Every individual should think in terms of value creation, that is, what he or she can contribute to the organization. Before talking about pay package perks, one should always keep it in mind that what I am contributing to the organization, how organization really feels that yes, I am valuable and I am contributing. And secondly, employees are looking for the organization that is really purpose driven, not the profit driven. So obviously, nowadays employees also want to work to that organization that really contributing something productive, valuable to the society. As I already mentioned that because of the globalization, what is happening? That now we are thinking not in just national perspective, but from the global perspective, global sourcing, global development assignments, and global reward equity become increasingly important. And certainly, globalization has connected people as well as technology across the globe. So, obviously, now you can hire people anywhere in the globe. In order to develop your people, you can send them anywhere. In multinational corporations, they can be placed, they can be transferred just for development purpose, anywhere in any group company. And certainly, there is now very thin difference as far as the global rewards are concerned. So this trend will continue in future. Now, we all know the importance of teamwork and team building. In future also, there will be greater focus on teamwork. Of course, individual competence is important, but what is more important is organizational competence. So obviously, it is quite relevant that great talent in the absence of teamwork will not succeed. So individual ability without organizational capability will not create sustainable success, and this issue will be again touched in compensation management also. Instead of individual rewards, there will be greater focus in future also on group rewards. There is a severe talent crunch, as I already mentioned, and nowadays, now many organizations are seriously thinking. They have really joined their hands also to bridge that skill gap. Of course, Skill Development Corporation, sectoral skill development councils, they have started working, and in coming years, maybe very shortly, maybe 3, 4, 5 years, perhaps private skill industries will come. Basundara already declared that very shortly skill industry is coming in the state, and many private players have shown interest in establishing skill development universities. So there will be greater focus to bridge that skill gap, and this is the area where even industries in the same domain will be collaborating, because they know that by collaborating, perhaps they will be able to get the right kind of people, and it is in the benefit of all if skilled people are available. Technology has greatly influenced HR. There are again 4 important areas as far as the technology is concerned. Cloud computing. The role of cloud computing will increase day by day. Because of the cloud computing, enormous amount of data can be kept, and on that basis, decisions can be taken. Similarly, by for taking decisions, there will be greater use of analytics in HR. We all know that what role mobile is playing in our day-to-day life, but nowadays, new trend is, and it will further increase, companies are using mobile for connecting people. They are sending their employees management tips. They are doing opinion polls also. They are doing survey also through mobile. And because of the mobile, nowadays employees are well connected, complete 24 into 7. So nowadays it has a great role to play. And similarly, we all know that social media is extremely important in our day-to-day life. And because of the social media, one trend is fast emerging, that is creating opinion groups. And nowadays, the traditional trade unions will gradually convert into virtual trade unions, where the unions will cross their limited boundary of a particular unit, but perhaps at the industry level, at the regional level, unions will be formed in the years to come. Of course, your generation is quite different than our generation. Now, in your generation, what you want? Your senior should not act like a boss. He or she should become your friend, philosopher, guide, mentor. You want challenging growth. You want to experiment. You want more freedom. So the way you will be managed is quite different than our days, and certainly before managing the millennial workforce, we will have to take into consideration the aspirations, the need, and the background of youth. Because of the increasing number of dual career couples, now what is happening is both husband and wife, they are professionally active, and that's why in any industry it is not the employee who is the stakeholder, but whether his spouse is working or not working, he or she is also your stakeholder. Because whenever decisions are taken regarding promotions or mobility, transfers, etc., obviously will have to take into consideration the spouse also in order to ensure proper work-life balance. Talent attraction is quite important. That is, corporate sector will do its best to attract that talent. How the talent can be attracted, as we are talking to you in one of these slides, but it will emerge as a key trait as talent movement increases in the young force. This will require organizations to invest more on building their employees' brand to attract the right kind of talent and to retain the existing ones. It is not a financial capital, but in years to come, there will be greater importance, more importance of intellectual capital. So the war for talent retention is going to be further intensified, and the demand for quality talent will remain to be high. Hence, organization would need to be proactive in mapping their internal talent pool with a external tool. So there will be greater focus to develop your own human resources, that is, internal social recruitment would be further developed. As far as employee retention is concerned, it has become one of the fascinating areas in the field of HR today, by that HR expenditure that is proposed there in the form of a new HR intervention. Now, I was talking about the talent retention. It is vice versa. On one hand, the organization is looking for good employees. Now, talented employees, skilled employees are also looking for the good organization to work. So, employer will have to create his own brand value in the years to come. It is not a huge size 5-star swimming pool. It is not merely a wonderful cafeteria. It is not infrastructure of the organization. It is not the aesthetic environment of the organization that will really fascinate the employee in the years to come. What will be more important for the organization would be, for the employee would be, the intrinsic value of the organization. Perhaps the image, the brand of the employee is very closely associated with the brand or image of the organization. Employees should feel proud. Yes, I am working in this organization. This is my organization. A sense of pride must be there. Perhaps employee may be able to sacrifice part of his purse or very high salary, provided he is assured of that he is working in an organization who is having a very good prestige in the industry. So, employer will try to enhance their brand value, and that brand value can be enhanced only when organization is really socially responsible for the society. Organization is really having some values. Organization is known as ethical organization. The leaders are quite respected in the society. Organizations who are providing good growth opportunities, organization that has become a learning organization where the employees are learning and growing, organizations who are quite sensitive towards their employees for their expectations and aspirations, organizations who are really very, very conscious in improving the quality of work life and for work life balance as well, and organizations who are really creating an environment which is quite friendly to work. So in future, employees, particularly I'm talking about the talented employees, they will work for the organization who is having a real brand value in the industry. Reward and recognition is quite important from the point of view of employees, but here what is more important is that in future particularly, because of the cost escalation, reward will be linked with the performance. The more you perform, the better you will be rewarded. To utilize the cost, this is the only option available. Number two, it is not the reward that is important. Equally important is that how that reward has been properly communicated to the employee. Employees should understand and feel that yes, this reward is really, really very attractive. What I am contributing, really I am getting more out of that. So reward management contribution and communication is important. There will be greater focus on non-monetary reward. So it means reward should be such that should create performance culture. Reward should include both monetary and non-monetary. Reward should consider the total cost aspect is quite important. It should not become costly to the organization. Organization must benchmark the best reward practices. Reward should nurture innovations. Communication is quite important, and certainly restructuring the compensation package is very much required after frequent intervals. And future leadership qualities. In fact, organizations and particularly the HR manager will be exploring the leaders right from the very beginning when the candidate joins the organization, how that person is really capable of leading people. If leadership potentials and qualities are there, then such persons would be nurtured, developed right from the very beginning, and they will be assigned leadership assignment. Their growth will be much faster. Those who are having innovative thinking, those who are focusing on achieving results, involving workforce and make them feel valued, those who are believing in team spirit, those who really encourage initiative and action, and those who really engage workforce, they will always be preferred for the leadership position. This is the last slide for the my presentation because of the time constraint. As already mentioned, bit of it. Now the time has come when industry and academia, they must join hands. What is happening most of the time? Whenever you are joining any institute, including this institute, Perhaps this question occurs in your mind. What is the placement scenario? Perhaps you might have asked to the counselors, सब placement कैसा है आपके इंस्टीट्यूट में? लेकिन काउंसलर आपसे अगर ये पूछते हैं, ये बताइए कि क्या आप रियली एम्प्लॉयबल हैं, तो आपका आंसर क्या होगा? This institution cannot place you, mind it, in spite of exaggerated claims अगर कहीं हैं तो. This institute cannot place you. This institute can provide you a forum. Now, it is only you who can place yourself, and that is possible only when you make yourself employable, when you become a skilled. Because of the time constraints, perhaps teachers may not be able to provide you much inputs. It is your responsibility primarily that whenever you go to your home or your hostel, read more, try to enhance your skill. Just think that whatever concept and theories madam has taught, how it can be applied in real life situation. Focus more and more case studies. So skill development is primarily your responsibility, but certainly the institute will always act as a facilitator. Similarly, the companies, the corporate sector once visit to the institute and then they start criticizing students. This is not also good. Industry people should have a close linkage with the institution. They should involve themselves with the institution in different capacity. And similarly, teachers, the faculty members, should be given project assignment by the industry. That is, there should be two-way relationship, invite industry people for lecturing, for discussions, involve them in designing the syllabi, in academic ventures, but simultaneously, industry people should also take keen interest in the development of the institution. Unless that kind of relationship is there, perhaps in spite of all these campaigns, all these exaggerated statements, nothing fruitful will come. Time has come for, especially for the youth. Think seriously. Just develop your skills. Whatever your area of interest might be, it might be HR, it might be marketing, it might be finance, or it might be some technical area. Please enhance your knowledge, enhance your competence, enhance your communication skills, and make yourself employable. If you are really employable, this institution will be able to help you, and I think no help is required even from the institution. You will be able to sell yourself well, and perhaps employment will not be a problem at all for you. So, this Make in India campaign will not be successful unless the population of this country, and particularly the youth, the working population, seriously think in enhancing.
You observe that until unless you focus how my chapter will improve my life, how I can apply this chapter in my practical life, then you can understand that. So every time whenever you are reading your bank chapter of Reserve Bank of India or State Bank of India or NPA or for assignment problem or transportation problem or linear programming problem, you have to think over it how I will use this in my practical life when I qualify my degree, then how I will use this theory in my practical life. In this way, if you read, your knowledge will remain permanent. So thank you very much for such a good idea. Sir, what about my idea about position in board of director of director in a company, private or public limited company?
The idea is brilliant, no doubt about it, that the academic fraternity must be very closely associated with the industry, and maybe some of the eminent academicians may be taken in the board of directors. Of course, very few companies have done. Uh, Here the point is, our problem is, in general, the limitation is that basically we are theoreticians. In the board meetings, academicians have not been able to contribute much in the policy making or giving some practical suggestion. So academia should think in terms of the, should not live in an ivory tower. They should provide some real productive, useful suggestion to the company. Perhaps the top management of the company won't mind taking our people on their boards, provided that we, that yes, these people are really contributing meaningful in the board of. And similarly, it is vice versa. We should also take industry people in our board of studies or in academic councils. But our problem is that, of course, in exceptional cases, we have taken some industry people, but that is just decorative. Whenever board meetings are there, they hardly turn up. So that is our problem. And because of the bureaucratic system, sometimes we find it quite difficult to induct the industry people. But you have very rightly said that academia should contribute very actively, and our faculty should, of course, everyone cannot reach at the board of directors level, but if we can take some consultancy project, if we can sell our idea that look, I want to take this project from your company, and whatever suggestions I would be giving to you, will be really useful. Perhaps they won't mind because it's a business for them. They won't mind even paying you good money for valuable output. So it is vice versa.
Even in nursing education, even in the medical education, there is affiliation with the hospitals and all. But in our management education, there is no affiliation from the industry as such.
Exactly.
That is the biggest problem because they are all are bored by reading their books only. So if there is a affiliation with some good companies, then definitely their skills will improve and they will know.
Certainly. Now, what is happening in US, you know it very well that uh, teaching is not a permanent kind of job there. Professors go to the industry, they work there, they come back and then they share their experiences with the students. But in India, what is happening? If I'm in the teaching, then perhaps I'll be teaching for the next 2 decades. And similarly, those who are in industry, they are not good at academics. So that's the problem. And perhaps in the future, that scenario will change. And nowadays, in good institutions of management, rather management prefers to take somebody from industry as a director, provided he has obtained his PhD or whatever UGC qualifications are to appoint somebody as a director. So the trend has started and perhaps it will come soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Your session was full of passion and priceless knowledge. Now, it is time for honoring our speakers. So, I would like to request Professor P. Shamli, sir, to kindly give the mementos to our speaker for this session. Big round for Professor Edwin Mitchell, sir. Thank you, sir. Really great session we had with Professor H.M. Mittal and Professor Anil Mehta, sir. Now the moment has come again. We are going to invite our young researcher for the oral presentation. As I already mentioned, she will be getting 5 minutes each to showcase her research. For that, I would like to invite come up on the stage our first researcher, Ms. Abhilasha Jha, for her oral presentation. Please welcome Abhilasha Jha.
Modi on 25th September 2014. It aims to promote the manufacturing sector and facilitate investment through FDI and bilateral and multilateral engagement. It includes major initiatives facilitating investment, driving innovation, protecting intellectual property rights, providing world-class manufacturing infrastructure. 25 sectors have been identified as priority areas, including automobile, construction, food processing, IT, defense, aviation, etc. There are single window clearances, minimal procedures, cutting out of red tapeism, online processes and approvals, development of industrial corridors. The growth rate has been between 2% to 3%. Share of manufacturing to GDP is only 15%, which is very low in compared to the developed countries. Make in India aims to increase the share to 25% by 2022. Now, FDI investment will result in the increase in growth, which will in turn result in increase in employment opportunities, and this will result in creation of a lot of jobs and sustainable economic development and growth. It is expected that there will be a creation of 100 million jobs. The more the jobs, the more is the requirement of human resource management. Indian economy is dominated by service sector. Most of the jobs are white collar in nature, but through this Make in India initiative, jobs are being created in a sector in which most of the people are workers. So, in my opinion, the focus areas in HRM will be talent acquisition and retention. Large number of job opportunities will result in a shortage of skilled labor and coaching. And so, this talent acquisition and retention is a major challenge area the HR managers will be facing. Skill development. R.C. Bhargava of Maruti Suzuki says that to produce globally competitive goods, skilled and trained labor force is required. There are various programs that have been taken that have been designed. Uh, Skill India initiative is one of them. We need to make more such programs. Managing organizational culture and instilling discipline. R.C. Bhargava also says that motivated people bring increases in productivity, cost reduction, and quality improvement. So this area is also very important. Labor and industrial relations and conflict management. In manufacturing companies, most of the people who are working are workers and who work on machines and lines. Labor and industrial relations are based on assumptions and interest for Make in India, that the interest for workers and the management are misaligned. So for Make in India to be a success, we need to align their interests. I will conclude by saying that people are the most important asset who determine the competitiveness of any business. Since manufacturing is a people-dominated business, labor relations and personal management become a key parameter that need to be taken care of. Government and companies should devise labor laws and HR policies in manner conducive to the well-being of